Hi everyone, thanks for coming back to the Salem, Ohio Public Library's YouTube tech video page. My name is Rhonda and today I'm going to give you a part 2 on Google Docs. So last week we briefly discussed about using an email address to sign in to Google Docs. So once again, if you're new here, you'll just type in Google Docs into your Google search browser and you will be asked to sign in using an email. Once you sign in using that email, this is the page that you're going to come to. So for today's video, I don't want to dive too deep into small details about templates or some of the other alternative uses for Google Docs. I really just want to get you to the basics of being able to use a word processing program. In other words, a program that is just for an electronic piece of paper. So we're going to go ahead and start with a blank page here. Now, again, like I said on the last video, up here to the left is where you're going to name your document. And so you would just click in there, type the name and click out, and that then saves it as that name. Now, I want you to go in and practice this with me if you can, because we all know that with technology, practicing will help you remember it better. So go ahead and pause the video, open your own Google Docs, and start typing something in there so you can work along with me. So I'm just going to type, okay, there we go. I got some text in there. So starting from below the name of your document, you have some tabs here, okay? File, Edit, View, Insert, Format, Tools, Extensions, and Help. Now, I like to do a little bit of a process of elimination for those who are just starting out. I want you to be aware of the fact that if you're new to this, you're probably not going to use extensions. And a lot of times you won't even really use the tools, and the help feature is certainly nice to have, but there are sometimes it could get a little tricky if you're looking for something specific and you don't know how to word it right. You can always go to YouTube or go to Google as well and type that in and asking for help with a specific thing in Google Docs, and you can get help there as well. So really today we're just going to look at these 5 tabs, these 5 tabs. So I'm going to start from all the way to the right with this format. Okay. So format is really just a fancier way of saying designing your text, okay, or your document. So here you have some extra features like you can, change the way your text looks by making it bold or italic. This is just different ways for your paragraphs to look. So this isn't something that you'll probably use right out of the gate if you're new to this, but it is something that if you're planning on becoming a writer, or if you're going to be doing a lot of different documentation styles, like poetry or making proposals or pamphlets or anything like that, you might want to get a little more familiar with this. Alignment is just whether or not the text is right in the middle of the document. Is it all the way to the left of the document, to the right, and so on. This is if you need to add extra spacing in between sentences. This is if you want to add more than one column to your page. So this is good for like news, if you're learning how to be a journalist or something like that. If you're in college, this is where you're going to put your columns. This is just your bullet points and numbering. So if you're making a list. Headers and footers, this is nice if you need to have page numbers. You would have them in your header and your footers, or if you need to, maybe you're writing a book of poetry and you have a chapter, or poetry 1, and you want to have more than one page of that, you can have a header and a footer that matches so that people will know when you're transitioning to a new poem. Here's your page numbers, and then page orientation is just whether it's reading left to right or up and down. And then clear formatting is if you accidentally did something that you didn't mean to do and you don't know how to fix it, you can just hit clear formatting and it will set you to your default settings. insert. I'm not going to go through all of these, but insert is when you want to add something to your document that you can't easily type out. So a lot of people like to add pictures. So you would just go to insert, you could go to image, and then you can either upload from your computer, you can add photos from your Google Photos, you can use your Drive, and so on. There's a lot of extra options there. And a lot of people will also use this for tables. So if you're inserting a table, over here is where you would say how many, columns or rows you need, and then that's how big your table would be. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do for that one. View, really this one you are only going to use if you're usually like kind of completed with your document and you want to see how it looks as like a finished product. Edit, this is where you can do a lot of your copy and pasting. Now, for those who are new, copy and pasting is simply when you are highlighting your text, you can hit copy, and then you can take it to another part of this document and paste it there so that you don't have to keep typing it out over and over. And to copy something, you really just want to make sure you're highlighting your text. You would do that by either going to the beginning or the end of your sentence, left click, and then drag. And you got to hold that button down there, that left click. And then when you're all done, you let go and you have this blue highlight. Now you can also change your font, the size of your font, and you can even add some extra features here like bold, italicize, underline in your font color. And then I really just want to go here over File. This is where if you're going to start a new document, you can open it up here. If you have a document that you have saved to your computer, not the cloud storage, then you can go ahead and open that here. And of course, this is just to make a copy. Okay. I'm not going to go over the share feature today. I'm actually going to save that for next week's video, but it's really a cool option. And I hope you guys tune in for that because it's really one of the very unique features that Google Docs has that really makes it compatible with a lot of work projects or student projects if you're in college. You can email this document, you can download this document. Instead of it saving to just the cloud, you can actually save it to your computer. Okay. And the rest of these will sort of go through as we work on it because some of them are a little bit more of an advanced feature. Clearly here, if you want to delete your document, you can move it here. But really, I just wanted to give you the basics because I know that when you're first starting out with programs like this, you don't know what to click, you don't know what you're doing. But I really want you all to practice if you can. Just open your own Google Doc, type out some things, and then start with highlighting your text. So again, just that left click, drag, and then let go. And then see what you can do with it. Like we can change the colors up here. We can change what the font looks like. You can change the size of your font. You could change the alignment over here. So you put it in the middle, to the right, to the left. Now you don't need to know every single button. Just start with your font, your size of your font, and the color of your text. I mean, really, that's the best place for a beginner to start. And then, type a few things out, exit out of it, and see if you can find it again. And if you want to find it, all you do is when you exit out, okay, and you would just go to open your Google again. And I'm going to go up here to my bookmark, but you could just type in Google Docs. And oops, I am on the wrong email. You probably won't have that problem. And here we go. And this is my document. Easy peasy. All right, everybody. I hope that I introduced you a little bit to Google Docs. Join me next week for part 3, and I will go into more specific detail, especially about that sharing function. All right, everyone. I hope to see you next time.